No umbrella, no hope. A single mom pulls over anyway, not knowing the knock that will come tomorrow. The storm wasn't just in the sky. For Sarah, the downpour mirrored the weight in her chest. Sarah's instincts warred. A woman alone with a child, a stranger in the dark. But as she drove past, she saw his head bow, defeated. "Need a lift?" she called through the cracked window, rain stinging her face. The old man turned. "I'm lost. My phone?" "Get in," Sarah said. "Let's find your way home." He sank into the passenger seat with a grateful sigh. They drove in a silence punctuated by thunder. When the man, who introduced himself as Arthur, gave an address in the wealthy Hillcrest neighborhood, she pulled up to a grand, darkened house, not just helping him to the door. Arthur paused at the threshold. "You didn't ask for a thing," he said. Sarah just shrugged. Seemed like the thing to do. She returned to her cold car, to her life of relentless pressure, unaware that her small act had just rerouted their futures. The next morning was a frantic rush. Late to drop Leo at daycare, late for her job. Her manager, Ray, cut her off. "You think your sob story matters? You're done, Sarah." The humiliation was a physical blow. As she walked out, past the regulars who avoided her eyes, she didn't see Arthur sitting in a corner booth, watching the entire exchange with a deep frown. The knock on her apartment door that afternoon felt like fate tapping. "Ms. Carter? I'm Ben, Arthur's son." He thanked her for helping his father. Then he made an offer. Part-time companionship for Arthur. It was a lifeline she couldn't refuse. The Weston house slowly warmed. Sarah's afternoons with Arthur became a balm for them both. Ben found himself drawn to the sound of laughter. Leo adored Grandpa Arthur. Family-style dinner, warm lighting. For a few weeks, it seemed a perfect, fragile picture. In Arthur's study, Leo, curious and clumsy, knocked a delicate music box from a shelf. It shattered. The box, Ben explained quietly, was the last gift from his mother before she passed. His grief filled the room. "It's okay, he didn't know," Ben said, but the distance in his eyes said otherwise. Sarah, heart sinking, gathered Leo and left, but the silence from Ben was deafening. Back in her small apartment, Sarah felt the loss deeply. Meanwhile, Ben stared at the broken pieces, realizing his silence was a greater error. At her kitchen table, Leo worked intently. "I'm making a new one for Mr. Ben," he declared, "so his heart won't be broken anymore." It was Arthur who delivered the child's gift. A clumsily strung, brilliantly colorful bracelet, accompanied by a crayoned note. Ben read it alone in his study. The simple, earnest love in those plastic beads undid him. Sometimes the most precious gifts come wrapped in forgiveness. He arrived at her door that evening. "I was guarding a ghost," he confessed, "and I almost missed the living, breathing wonder right in front of me." Leo's joyous hug sealed the unspoken apology. Months later, under a canopy of twinkling lights, Arthur raised a glass. "To Sarah and Leo," his voice boomed, "for teaching this old house how to be a home again." As cheers rose, Ben knelt. "You brought the light back," he said. "Let me spend my life keeping it on." Through happy tears, Sarah nodded. The three of them, hand in hand, walking into the warmly lit house at dusk. If this story reminded you of the power of a simple choice, subscribe to Human